Hello everyone, welcome to Sharmit. In this session, we are going to talk about another two very important border related properties, that is border left and border right. So by the end of this session, we will be able to answer what is border left property, what is border right property, how we can use it for customizing the border. Okay. Along with these two properties, we will also cover other correlated properties that is related to border left or border right. If you remember, in our previous session, we talked about border top and border bottom. So these two properties are almost similar to them, just we will be considering two different directions this time, which is left and right. Okay. So before we start further, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released sessions first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow them sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic. For time being, we are just mainly focusing on how to use border left and border right property. Okay, so let's start the discussion with the code. Here you can see we have noted down the basic code so far, where we have just mentioned one heading that shows CSS Cascading Style Sheets by Sharmit, and there is one title in the head section. Now what I will do, I'll show you the output of this code, which is coming like this: CSS Cascading Style Sheets by Sharmit. Along with this, we will also put here another heading. So I'll write the topic name, which is border left and border right properties of CSS. Okay, so these are the two topics that we will be discussing today. So let me show this heading first. Okay, perfect. Now to demonstrate this example, we need one div. So let's add the div here. With div, we will provide one ID, because to apply the CSS property we need ID. So here I'll apply the ID as box. So to apply the properties, like we have three methods. Either we can go with the simple like inline CSS, or we can go with the internal CSS, or we can opt external CSS. So it totally depends on your requirement. You can use it with any method. Okay, but for this session I will be using the internal CSS. Okay, so let's write the internal CSS. For that, we will go to the head section. Here we will write style, and in style we will mention like firstly we will access the the element through selector. So ID is there, so we will use hash box. And remember one thing, this is case sensitive, so if you are using something here, make sure to write it in a same case. Okay, so after box we will write opening and closing braces. Here we will apply some basic properties like width, height. So firstly I'm setting the width as 900 pixel, then we will set height as 600 pixel. Okay, now you can save it and refresh the browser. You will not see anything here. Why? Because we have not drawn any border yet. So the requirement is that we want a border, but only on the left direction. So for that we will use here border left property. So you just need to write here border left, and then you can, so this border left is a shortened property. Through this property we can provide three different values. One is for width, another one is for style, and the another one is for color. Okay, so let's see how we will pass the values. So I want 20 pixel width. Style I want as a means you can use any dotted, dashed, but I will go with a solid, and color would be red. So when you save it and refresh the browser, you will see now the red color border is coming, but only in the left direction. So this is the advantage of using border left property. With this you can simply use, we can use this only for the left border. Okay, fine. Similarly, let's say if you want to create it for a right border, yes, we can use the same kind of property, where we will just change left with a right, because this time we want it for a right. So you can save it, and now you can see we have a right border. So now some of you might be thinking like, why do we need left and right separately? Because in project there might be some requirement where you want to show a different border. Okay, so let's say in right I want a dashed border, so I can just simply change it here and it will come as a dashed border. Here we have a solid border, this side we have a dashed border. Okay, so that's why we can use it. Now I'll show you another interesting thing. Let's say I want to show a border differently. Okay, so what I can do, I can use here red. Instead of red I can use green color. Okay, then you will see here we have green color. Similarly, we also know about the top and bottom, right? So let's combine it with here. So here I'll make it as top border, and in top border we can use any different color, for example blue. Okay, and here we can use for bottom we can use any other color, let's say yellow. Okay, so you just need to write here yellow. Now you can save it, refresh it. So now you can see we have 4 borders with different color. So this is how we can customize the border by using different properties. Okay, now we have some radius properties as well. So like when you write here border left, you will see there is border left radius property. Top left means we have top border, we have left border, so it will be considered from here. So we can use it left border, left border, top left radius, and let's say 90 pixel. So you just need to write here 90, save it, refresh it. So you can see this is how it turns. Okay, similarly I want border right, top right radius 90, or maybe different, maybe 60 pixel. Save it, refresh it. So it is turned from 60 pixel. Similarly, if you want to change different, like for bottom border, bottom radius, so that you can also do. You just need to write here bottom and then bottom right radius, let's say 90 pixel. Okay, so likewise as per your requirement you can change the values for these. Okay, so it is changed. Similarly, if you want to for a left radius, that is also fine. You can just simply change here left, save it, refresh it. Okay, so this is how it works. Likewise, you can use it for designing your images or any particular section of a website through borders. Clear? So we have covered border left and border right. Now we have few more correlated properties that you can use. For example, if I want to show border left, but this time I want other property, means I want to apply the color width, height, color width or style separately. So because we discussed about border left, which is a shorthand property where we have to put the combination, and in shorthand, remember one thing: if you are using shorthand property, style is the mandatory one. If you are not providing style, it won't work. Okay, other two value maybe you can skip if you don't want to specify it. So it will take by default value, which is 1 pixel for the width, and color would be black. But you are supposed to provide the another thing. Okay, another thing, like we can specify if you are not providing color would be considered as black. If you are not providing the width, we can specify it as we can simply, like, if we are not providing width, it will be considered as 1 pixel. Okay, but the style is important and mandatory one. Now I'll show you how we can use separate properties for that. Let's say if I want to use aqua color, I can pass border left color aqua. Then we can use border left width 20 pixel, border left style. Here let's say I want a double. Okay, save it, refresh it. So now you can see this is how it is looking like. Okay, likewise we can do it for the right border as well. You just need to change here the direction with right, and it will do it for the right. Okay, so save, and you can see this time we have right border. If you want to change the color, you can change it to red or any color you want to do. Okay, so this is how we can use the combination for border right and left. Now remember one thing, whenever you want to learn anything new, just write here like border left, and whatever the correlated properties are there, you can try. Like we tried the radius for left, top left, bottom left. We tried style, width, color, and shorthand. Shorthand is a combination where we can do a combination of 3 properties, which is style, width, and color. Clear? So yeah, I think that's all for today. In the next session we will discuss a few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.